Hello, if you are watching this screencast, you were absent Monday, December 10th, 2018 from Miss Warren's history class. So when the kids came in, they took a note sheet from the front table. It's a George Washington sheet. He's our topic for today. And we are going to describe some of the challenges Washington faced as a new president. We also used Pear Deck. You won't have to use that. And we also made a new unit page on page 77 of your spiral. And please make sure you title it Early Years of the Republic. And that's the last time we're going to use our spiral during this class period. This was the warm-up. If you have decided to run for President of the United States, what issues would you address if you won? And then we continue to talk about the presidents and the current issues that we have today and what issues faced with George Washington. Now we're back in history. After the Constitution has been ratified, we need a president. The president is inaugurated, George Washington, in 1789. Now, this is the ceremony that a president takes the oath of office, as you can see in these pictures here. Now, George Washington set many precedents. If you know, that's different. It's not presidents, precedents. He was the first one. So, of course, he's going to be able to set an example for several others. And we talked about the word precedent. Now, this link is from the John Adams HBO series, and this is the scene in which George Washington gets inaugurated. Please go to that video clip and watch that. It's about 5 minutes long. All right, as we go through this, we are going to be doing some activities. You can do it on the left-hand page in your spiral, or and then we're going to be taking some notes, and I'll describe those to you as we go. We talked about the word precedent, like I said, and because the presidency was so new, no one knew exactly how to do or act, and George Washington was very mindful that everybody would be looking at him as an example in the future years. So he had to be very careful. So we're going to see a lot of examples he set for future presidents, and some we still use today. All right, at the very top of your note sheet, you'll see where there's it says George Washington. Now, in those blanks, George Washington served from 1789 to 1797. Please put that in the blank. And underneath that, it says key events. Please cross off the word events and replace them with problems. Now, remember, you can always pause, rewind this video lecture or video lesson so that you can have time to write things down. Now in that box, we're going to look at key problems that he faced. First, creating a stable economic system. We didn't have any money. We had to create more money somehow because the Articles of Confederation left the country very poor and much in debt after the Revolution. Setting up the court system under the Articles of Confederation, there was not one. Defining the authority of the national government. There's a lot of control and power that was given to the national government, but how much should it use? And national security. Under the Articles, we had no army, navy. So here we are, we're a poor, a very vulnerable country, and we needed to change that as quickly as possible. So we're going to go through how George Washington faced those four very difficult domestic issues. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see where it says First Cabinet. Right next to the words First Cabinet, I want you to write the definition. Washington created something called a cabinet. Now, a cabinet is a group of presidential advisors. That's what I want you to write up in the upper right-hand corner. They are to serve and assist the president. The president cannot do everything on his own, so he tries to put together a collective group of men and women today who can advise him. Now, in the little bubbles next to the person's face, I want you to put what their job was. Alexander Hamilton was the smartest guy to deal with money. So, in the bubble next to Alexander Hamilton, he was the Secretary of the Treasury. You got it. He was the one that was going to fix the financial problems. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was good with dealing with foreign countries. He was named Secretary of State. Henry Knox was the Secretary of War. And the attorney for the United States, or lawyer, the Attorney General, is Edmund Randolph. Now, today's cabinet has grown considerably bigger as our country needs as our country's needs grow. We need departments to take care of them, and they specialize in certain areas such as Veterans Affairs, education, housing and urban development, energy, lots of different transportation, lots of different things that are happening today that needed special attention. So the cabinet has grown quite a bit. The president meets with these people on a regular basis, and they advise him on that particular issue that needs addressing, or their concerns about, or the president's concerns. Every time there's a new president, the cabinet changes. He appoints whom he wants, and then they're approved by the Congress. If you will Google cabinet of Donald Trump and would like to know more about the current cabinet members, that would be a great idea. Now, we have to set up a court system, and the pretty much boring part of this, Congress passed a law called the Judiciary Act. In the bottom left-hand corner of your sheet, your note sheet, you'll see Judiciary Act. So what was it? Just write in the box, set up federal courts. That's all you have to write in there. All right, I want you to take a moment to look at this. U.S. financial problems in 1789 to 1791. You can see this chart. I want you to write on the back of your note sheet, what inference can you make from this graph about the economic problems during Washington's presidency? And just write your inference on the back of your note sheet. Now let's try, what's the plan for creating a stable economic system? First, I want you to go to the economic part of your note sheet. You'll see a money bag there. All right, so Hamilton has a financial plan, okay? We're badly in debt. Oh, by the way, do not write anything that's not in yellow. We're badly in debt. They need to create a source of income for the United States. As you saw on the graph, there is no way that we can use the current money that we have coming in to pay off our debt that we owe. Okay, in that middle part below that money bag where it says tariff and taxes, please write these two definitions. So taxes are to raise, they want to raise taxes to pay the war debt. And we're going to talk about the first tax they're going to look at taxing is whiskey. The second thing is what's called a tariff. I don't know why there's a red spot there, but it should be circling tariffs. Put a star next to it. These are the tax on imported goods. So this is where we're getting money or fees from foreign countries that want to buy things, or excuse me, these are fees that we make foreign countries pay for them to sell things in our country, which increases the price of the goods, which encourages people to buy American goods. It's called a tariff. We're going to talk about that all year. Now, right above these definitions, add this. Alexander Hamilton wanted to create a national bank. We're going to organize all the money that we owe from all the states. We're going to put it in one bank. And then we're going to make loans to people from that bank. And the bank makes money off of interest, which is the fees that you pay for borrowing money. With this plan, he believed that this was going to fix our financial issues in the United States, which actually it did, but it didn't come without a price. Lots of people did not agree with Hamilton. We talked about what taxes or tariffs are familiar with today. Okay. Now, Jefferson had a big problem with the National Bank. Now, the National Bank was not written in the Constitution, and he was a strict interpreter. He believed that Hamilton was abusing his power and that he should not have been able to create a national bank. Now, on the other hand, Hamilton said, no, wait, the bank is for the good of the country. And there's something in the Constitution called the Elastic Clause, so that the national government can stretch the power in order to do good for the country. Now, the national bank was not deemed unconstitutional, so away we go. You do not have to write anything down on this slide. All right. And the last thing we talked about today was the disagreement over the federal bank between Hamilton and Jefferson. And this is a rap battle between the two. They're both explaining their sides to Washington in a rap. This comes from the music Hamilton. Just go ahead and Google cabinet battle, or not Google, but do a search in YouTube, and you should come up with it. Warning, there's a couple cuss words in there. I hope that you're mature enough to handle. And watch a video with the words so that you can follow the words and the meaning of the song. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to finish up this note sheet on Tuesday.